Do people desire creative ideas? Most people would probably answer this question with an obvious yes. However, is that really the case? Have you ever been asked for creative ideas yet people eventually go with a safer option? Although people strongly endorse the positive view of creativity, scholars have long been puzzled by the finding that organizations, scientific institutions, and decision makers routinely reject creative ideas. Even in school setting, research has documented that teachers dislike students who exhibit curiosity and creative thinking, even though teachers acknowledge creativity as an important educational goal. Today, we are sharing an article by Jennifer Schimmel and Jack in 2012, exploring why people desire but reject creative ideas. The team hypothesizes that the more novel an idea, the more uncertainty can exist about whether the idea is practical, useful, and reliably reproducible. When endorsing a creative idea, people can experience failure, rejection, and uncertainty. People may feel a strong motivation to diminish and avoid, thus holding a deeply rooted bias against creativity that is not openly acknowledged. The team would like to know whether uncertainty may promote a greater bias toward creativity relative to practicality, and if this bias deters people's ability to recognize creative ideas. In the first study, 73 participants were recruited and randomly assigned to two conditions, uncertainty or baseline. In the uncertainty condition, participants were told that they might receive additional payment but that would be determined by a random lottery rather than performance. Participants in the baseline condition were not given the opportunity to receive extra money. Participants' automatic mental association with creativity and practicality were assessed using the implicit association test. The study used words related to creativity and practically as well as words that name good things and bad things. This measure relies on the test taker's speed of response to determine the strength of their mental associations. Participants were also asked to explicitly rate their positive and negative feeling toward creativity and practicality related words. The results have shown that people hold ambivalent attitudes toward creativity. While participants in the baseline condition evidenced positive implicit association with creativity relative to practicality, participants in the uncertainty condition exhibited an implicit bias against creativity relative to practicality. The team would like to further explore if people's motivation to reduce uncertainty can activate creativity bias, and if that bias deters the recognition of creative ideas. In the second study, 140 undergraduates are recruited, and were randomly assigned to two conditions, a high tolerance for uncertainty and a low tolerance for uncertainty. In high tolerance for uncertainty group, participants were asked to write an essay supporting the statement, "For every problem, there is more than one correct solution." In contrast, participants in the low tolerance for uncertainty group were asked to write an essay supporting the statement, "For every problem, there is only one correct solution." Again, participants took the same implicit and explicit test used in the prior study. They were also asked to rate a creative idea in terms of its creativity, novelty, and practicality. The study again found that uncertainty promotes a negative association with creativity relative to practicality. Such creativity bias also interfered with participants' ability to recognize a creative idea. Regardless of the degree to which people are open-minded, when they feel motivated to reduce uncertainty, they tend to have a lower evaluation toward creative ideas. Maybe because there is such a strong social norm to endorse creativity, people are reluctant to admit that they do not want creativity in a particular context. How can we cultivate an environment in our community that embrace uncertainty, recognize and accept creativity? Subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification if you like to learn more about psychology and daily life. Please don't hesitate to like this video as well if you enjoy the content.